or shellfish at all related to insects? You know, crabs and lobsters kind of look like big bugs. Are they really just supersized insects that happen to live in the water? Bugs of the sea? A giant plate of crabs, lobsters, shrimp, and half a gallon of drawn butter. This really is nothing better if you're a fan of shellfish. That's if you can get past the fact that they look like giant water bugs, of course, but these multi-legged, it says tasty creatures of the sea really related to things you need to call the pest control company for if they show up in your kitchen. Animal family tree. Well, sort of. Let me explain. If you were paying attention in 10th grade biology, you probably remember that all life on Earth can be classified into various categories and subcategories. The seven main ranks of biological classification or taxonomy, if you prefer, break down as follows: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So human or family tree looks like this: Animalia, Chordata, Mammalia, Primates, Hominidae, Homo sapien. Okay, thanks, Mr. Wizard. Now, what does this have to do with my question? Here's the deal: insects, arachnids, spiders and scorpions, and shellfish all belong to the phylum Arthropoda or arthropods. The arthropod is an invertebrate animal, meaning it has no backbone and it has an exoskeleton, internal skeleton, a segmented body, and jointed appendages. From there, arthropods are broken into subphylums, with insects falling into hexapoda, spiders and scorpions into sh- Shelicarata, and lobsters, crabs and shrimp and the like in crustacea. For an example, an ant, for example, would appear like so: Animalia, Arthropoda, Hexapoda, Insecta. A spider would be Animalia, Arthropoda, Arthropoda, Cal, Calicarata, there you go, Arachnida. And the lobster would branch out like Animalia, Arthropoda, Crustacea, Malacostraca. In fact, lobsters, shrimps, crabs, and other so-called shellfish have less in common with fish than they do insects. The only thing a lobster and a fish have in common is the kingdom Animalia and that they both live in water. Fish belong to the phylum Chordata, animals with backbones. It's still kind of amazing that someone would flip out at the sight of a cricket, would have no problem looking at a lobster and think, hey, that looks delicious, but hey, it happens, so please pass the butter, which we don't fuck with that over here because that shit, those are bottom feeders, and crickets, they might be clean because they're related to grasshoppers and locusts. I'll get into that as well. But just wanted to touch on this. It's written in Leviticus 11. Chapter 9. Of these shall you eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and the rivers, them shall ye eat. Verse 10. And all that have not fins nor scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. Verse 11. They shall even be an abomination unto you. Slakia. They shall even be an abomination unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses an abomination. Whatsoever, verse 12, whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. An abomination is very hateful, detestable, loathsome. The word is so hateful, detestable, loathsome. The word is applicable to whatever is odious to the mind or offensive to the senses. Unclean, number 3. Okay. In Matthew chapter 5, start at verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one iota or one tittle shall no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Verse 19. Whatsoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Verse 20. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. And also this. Do we then make void the law through faith? Romans 3:30. The Most High power Yahweh forbid. Yeah, we established the law. So there's also that. So no, the laws and statutes and commandments were not done away with. And that's why you can still sin. Sin is transgression of the law. So you can still sin. As for those unclean sheets of that were lowered from heaven, it basically meant that the it basically meant that it was talking about Cornelius first of all, and his the two soldiers that were with him, which they were Jakes, but they were Israelite foreigners, because Cornelius was a just man, and Edomites are not just. They're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. That's why on the morals they went. That's why it says this 3 times. 3 times. Acts 10, verse 16. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Verse 17. Now when Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men that were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate. Okay, it was 3 men that was sent from Cornelius, and they were soldiers, I believe. They were Roman soldiers. Verse 18, and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. Verse 19, while Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, behold, 3 men seek thee. Verse 20, arise therefore and get thee down, and go with them down in nothing, for I have sent them. There you go. What the fuck, dude? Slack it. Alright, anyways. So that's what the vision meant, because the Israelite foreigners were considered Gentiles and unclean, as shown in John 7:35, and said the Jews among themselves, whither shall we go that we shall not find him? Will we go into the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? And also this. Tobit 13:3, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. And also how you can tell it's talking about Israelites, because Yahweh Shai is also called this. So to the untrained eye, this would seem like a contradiction, but it's not. Jeremiah 4:7, the lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without an inhabitant. So he is called the destroyer of the Gentiles. And there it's talking about actual heathens. So you could tell the difference between where it's talking about actual heathens and where it's talking about Israelite foreigners. But anyways, yeah, Cornelius and them three men, they were Israelite foreigners. And that's why, that's what those sheets represented. The three Israelite foreigners. But the Most High Yahweh is clean, is called on not unclean. That's what it's talking about. Because Israelite foreigners are being brought back into the fold. It doesn't mean that you can eat unclean foods. Well, with that, something else that people like to bring up. Which it was talking about being a vegetarian versus eating meat. But a lot of people, they misunderstand it. Also, 1 Timothy 4 and 3, forbidding to marry, commanding to abstain from meats. From meats, period. That's what it's meant there. Which power Yahweh, the Most High power Yahweh, hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. Verse 4, for every creature power Yahweh is good and nothing to be refused if received would be received with thanksgiving. Let's read the verse after. Let's read the verse after. Showing you that it doesn't mean these unclean foods that were never created to be eaten. Verse 5, for it is sanctified by the word of power Yahweh, of the Most High power Yahweh, in prayer. So by the word of the Most High power Yahweh and prayer. So by the word of the Most High power Yahweh. Where do you find, and sanctified means set apart. Were these foods set apart for you to eat? Where were these foods set apart for you to eat? These meats. Where were they set apart for you to eat? In Leviticus chapter 11. That's how they were sanctified by the word of the Most High Power Yahweh. See, this is why Isaiah 28 and 10. For precept must be upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be tripping. But with that, yeah, thinking you could eat everything that's out there, thinking you can pick up a spider and throw it in on on the frying pan and cook it, or a crab, which is basically the sea version of that, or a roach, thinking you could just pick up a roach and just throw it on the frying pan and just flip it. And the Most High Yahweh is all right with that. Nah, man. But with that, I hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and citations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and all sincerity. And shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect out there. Shalom, stay strong. Baba Ball. Abala, well, death to Babylon. Abala Adawayim, death to these Edomites. Abala Gawayim, death to these other nations. Abala Ayabim Nawa, death to the rest of our enemies. Death to our enemies. The rest of them being 2/3 of you so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and you speckled birds / Israelite foreigners here in the States, here in Babylon. And you wicked Israelites scattered abroad. And I say so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans because y'all are primarily the Israelites of the Bible. But with that, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. Shalom, stay strong. Ababa Ball, and Yasher Allah forever.